Alright, so this video is going to be macro Solana analysis. This is a coin that I guess a lot of people are talking about. Not that I pay attention to what people are talking about, but every time I look on MEXC at the coins with the most volume, Solana always seems to be, third behind Ethereum. So Solana apparently is very hyped right now. So let's do some macro analysis on it. So first thing I'll say about Solana is, it's not in a spot where I would really consider buying it on spot. Little bit of a wordplay there, but for real, it's kind of halfway up its bear market dump already. So, for a spot bag, it doesn't really seem logical for me to buy here to target the all-time high. Essentially, I'm risking 100%. I always think about it like I'm risking 100% with spot buys. But the upside potential is really not that great targeting the all-time high. It's just barely over 2x. And maybe you're targeting higher than the all-time high. Maybe you think it's gonna, I don't know, double all-time high or something like that, and maybe then it makes sense. But the way I approach buying spot bags is the same way I approach trading, and I like it when I have some kind of a local setup where I can essentially de-risk my trades, whether that's taking out my original capital or taking profits at a reasonable point, and then from there I'll shoot for higher targets. But in this case, if you're buying spot here, the first reasonable target you probably will have is the all-time high. I mean, potentially you could look to TP before that, but I usually at minimum look for like a 2 or 3x when it comes to spot bags. So I can take out my original capital and then still have like a decent amount of my bag left. So, just in general, it's not looking like it's at a spot where I'd be interested in purchasing it right now. That doesn't mean I won't long it though. If I see a long setup, then I will, more than gladly take a swing long, or potentially if it gets a retrace, then I may look for a spot setup. But just in general, where it's at right now, I'm not really interested in a buy on Solana. But if it were to, let's say, retrace and maybe retest its bear market range, which, is seeming less and less likely as the days go on, but this is pretty much the retracement I've been kind of hoping for with a lot of the things I'm interested in buying on spot, Bitcoin included. If we did get that retracement and we saw confirmations, then this is an area where I would be interested in buying on spot because that is objectively buying low. Now, Solana's weekly time frame is looking pretty similar to Bitcoin's actually, but with BTC, I'm on the Bitcoin chart now. Bitcoin actually already voided the bearish divergences it was forming. So we saw a similar setup where money flow was looking really bullish. We're putting in higher highs. But momentum was, kind of looking like this not that long ago on Bitcoin. And with the next move up with momentum, it actually avoided the divergences. It took out the higher high. And we aren't exactly forming divergences yet because we have not made a higher high in price. But if we do, then there is bearish div potential here, with price putting in a higher high and potentially momentum putting in a lower high. But even if Solana does put in a higher high, and even if we do form divergences with momentum, it won't be a super strong divergence because it will only be with momentum. Money flow is continuing to put in higher highs. So, at this rate, I don't think it's possible to get bearish divs with money flow, at least not, soon. It could potentially happen later where maybe, price stalls out, maybe keeps putting in higher highs, and maybe momentum continues to diverge. And, by the second or third divergence, we actually are seeing money flow diverge as well. That would be more of a top signal to me, at least locally speaking, and that would probably make me think that at that point we would retrace down to this bear market range. But at this point, money flow is looking pretty bullish. It's putting in higher highs. So even if we do get this momentum div, it is, more than likely just going to be a quick retracement or potentially the next higher high. It's not often that you top out with just momentum divs and not money flow divs. Maybe it could cause price to range a bit, and potentially from there we could see money flow come down later, and maybe then breaks down. But just in terms of divergences, if we get this momentum div, it's not looking super strong to me because money flow is looking bullish on the weekly. The daily time frame, on the other hand, looks like it may be setting up some pretty bearish looking divergences. If price comes up to put in a higher high here, taking out this wick right here, then we will not only have bearish divs with momentum, most likely, unless momentum's able to take out this wave over here, but it looks like we are also going to have money flow divs. The money flow has come down significantly, and right now it found a little support in the purple, got a little move below the zero line, now it's coming back up, but this is definitely looking like more of a local top signal, because it looks like price is trying to push to the highs, and I'd say it looks like there's a 99% chance that we will get bearish divs with money flow, unless price absolutely just rockets past this high and then money flow eventually follows along with it. But based on this daily, it looks like there is a lower chance of that because money flow has come out significantly. It looks like maybe best case scenario we take out the high, if we actually even do take out the high, and maybe then we range a bit. That's kind of what it's looking like to me. Potentially we get a retrace from there. Potentially we just range and then look to break up later. But we are definitely seeing signs of weakness on this daily time frame. And we'll take a look at the midterm time frames quickly as well, just to see if they're saying anything different. So 4-hour money flow in the red and is getting a curvature to the upside, looking like it's looks like it wanted to cross over, but now it's flopping over a little bit, potentially just delaying the cross. But money flow is in the red, so that means it has potential to move to the upside. Just looking at the overall direction, right now it is facing up and it's yet to cross over. The 3-hour just crossed over, and this is looking a bit more bullish. We're not seeing the flop that we saw in the 4-hour. So yeah, 3 hours actually looking pretty bullish. Looks like, price is probably going to want to push towards that high. Now, just because the 3-hour money flow is looking bullish doesn't mean my daily idea is invalid. This is just telling me that price probably will push up to that high soon. And, from there, I'd say if it SFPs or, barely breaks above, then there's a good chance that we're going to be printing those bearish divs on the daily time frame. So there's a few things I can gather from this. Number one, I think there is short potential up here. Not that it's the greatest idea to short in these conditions, at least not with a very clear setup. Just because we wick this high with what seems like bearish divs on the daily doesn't mean I'm going to be taking a short there. I need to see a clear setup on a lower time frame in here, and then maybe with the daily backing up my idea, then I will consider a short. And if we end up ranging here for a little bit, then maybe I can look for plays from the low of the range or around the low of the range and potentially look to swing long it up for the next higher high. If the range breaks to the downside, then great. There's a good chance we may revisit my area of interest for potential spot bags. And if it just ends up pumping above this high and leaving us behind, whatever. I am fine with missing out on the Solana train. But if there's an opportunity I cannot resist, then I'm fine with hopping on. And I think that's pretty much all I wanted to mention. Other than that, you could pay attention to this high. I wouldn't exactly say that it's an important market structure point. Let me check it on the weekly though before I finalize that statement. So, you can probably say that we already had a weekly bullish break. I would personally say this looks like a good enough retracement for a lower high, so yeah, we probably already have broken weekly market structure, meaning this up here is really just a high. It's not a lower high, it's not a market structure point. So, you could potentially look at that as resistance. I'm sure there's people with TPs here, but I don't think it's the most important high ever. And, aside from that, I'm sure there's plenty of other resistance, but I don't want to spend 20 minutes talking about that. Alright, well anyways, that's about it for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment. All that helps to support and grow my channel, and I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video.